Welcome back to the channel, and here we are once again, episode number 2. So we got a big episode in store for everybody today, and what we're gonna do is we're gonna show you that we're not just collecting Chikorita, Bayleef, and Meganium. We are collecting more than that, and that is what we're gonna go through today. So I thought, why just sit there and collect Bayleef, Chikorita, and Meganium when we can collect every single Prime card, every single Ruby Sapphire EX, and we can complete the absolute banger that we like to call the Pokédex Binder. So I thought, let's do it, right? Why not? Today we went to a card show. We went to Melbourne Comic and Toy Fair, and I actually can't remember if I got any footage of it, but it is what it is. If I did, it'll pop up on the screen. If I didn't, it doesn't matter. But what we did pick up was a good old trusty top loader binder. We are going to be putting every single card that we collect, whether it's a Bayleef, Meganium, Chikorita, Prime, whatever, even just the cards that we like, are going straight into this binder. So sit back, relax, enjoy, and let's enjoy some sorting. Let's get into it. Let's go through today's pickups. So we picked up a little bit today. Got the old trusty bum bag that I take to every show. I need to get a new one actually. I'm not really loving this one at the moment, but oh, look at that. I got a Porygon sticker that I got in Japan in July, which is interesting. I didn't know that was still in my binder, in my bum bag. That's okay. So we picked up some absolute bangers, picked up a whole bunch of bulk. We also picked up 2 banger cards. So we'll go through those and then we'll see what needs to go into the Pokédex binder, what needs to go into the Meganium, Primes, whatever it may be. But we're gonna start with this absolute slapper that we did get, already top loaded. We picked up the Espeon Prime, and yes, you can see correctly, $200 Australian, which is a bargain, to be honest with you. I'll pull it out of the sleeve because I got to put it into not a tabbed sleeve, so we can put that in the bin. But this was really, really clean. Like, $200, I honestly couldn't believe it. Like, to be fair, see if it'll focus without the glare. Like, edges are crispy. And I'm thinking I could almost grade this, to be honest. There's a little bit of whiting along the edges. I do think it probably wouldn't get a 10. There's a little bit of like, I don't know if you're gonna be able to see this, just down here. Like a little bit of like whiting on the actual card, but this is a banger. Bit of a grail piece, I guess, for the Prime collection, but $200, I just could not look past it. There were a couple listed on eBay for about $299. Last sold was about $280, but then there was a $180 last sold as well. So it was quite hard to sort of price it. I didn't want to bargain with the guy. And when I was sitting there thinking about it, he even said, like, man, just look up the prices. Like, I priced it at 200. I thought, you know, there was one that sold for 180 and it was in pretty good condition. He's like, but then there was one that sold for like 280. He's like, so I just thought, you know what, let's just move it, price it at 200 and see how that sort of goes. This one probably wasn't in the greatest of shape, to be honest. He had one that was absolutely butchered. But this is to start off, well, not start off because I've already got a few of them, but we got a Mightyena EX class card. Really nice, like edgeware, like not the greatest. Like, I don't know if you're going to be able to see this very well, but like there's a little bit of whiting on the edges, but the front was pretty clean. And even like the hollow foil, like does not have really any scratches on it. So I was pretty happy with this pickup as well. $30 Australian, another one where I didn't really argue the price. Honestly, I probably should have looked it up because for all I know, I overpaid for it, but I sort of just took the gamble. I was like, $30 sounds about right for an EX card, but you know, once I purchase these cards, if I do that and I don't look it up, which is silly if you're someone that's trying to pick up cards at a card show, definitely always look up prices. It is definitely something you should be doing and something you need to do, but I am just a bit of a dipstick and I don't do that sometimes. I get a little bit carried away, but definitely do it. And if you don't do it, don't look up the prices afterwards because you'll definitely regret it. Now, a bunch of this stuff. So these are just bulk from Heart Gold, Soul Silver. And the reason I picked them up is purely based on the fact that I want them to go in the master set. I want them to go into the master set binder. Like, I mean, the Pokédex binder. There's also a few Chikorita cards and Bayleef cards that were in there. So we picked up a few little nice ones. I might change the camera angle to over here because there's a little bit less glare than there was there. So we got a nice little Flaffy here. We got a nice little Mareep. We got Chikorita, banger. So great little find here. Bayleef. We've got a Sunkern, which is I think Yukimori. Yep, Yukimori. Yukimori does like the little clay arts, I think they are. I like this little Hoppip as well. Swinub, this is probably my partner's favorite Pokemon, and I thought this one was quite cute to go in the Pokédex binder. We've got a Weeping Bell, a Bellsprout on that fire red leaf green bandwagon at the moment. Marowak. I thought this Machop was wicked. Look how tough that Machop is. Anyway, next up, we got a Carvana, which again, I don't know what artist this is, but this is also absolutely a wicked card. Who is it? Mahua. Okay, cool. And then we got another Bayleef and another Chikorita. So I think these are both from different sets. Yeah, they're both from different sets in the... Yeah, they're both from different Heart Gold, Soul Silver sets, but that is 4 more cards. Bang! Off the list. I feel like I'm a little bit close here to the screen. But they're going to go into the Pokédex binder. If I've got to pull cards out, I've got to pull cards out. It is what it is. We also got to start, I guess, sleeving up or moving cards around or whatever it may be for the top loader binder. So we'll probably change the angle. I might even change the camera, and we'll see if the angle or the lighting or whatever looks a little bit different, a little bit better. But we'll get into it from there. So I have this huge theory that if you don't like a card, you don't like a card at all, or a Pokemon in general, you don't have to collect it, right? You just find the card that you like the most, and then you go through it. So a lot of these cards, there's not really, actually there's a fair few from 151. A lot of this is, well, obviously Gen 1 to Gen 3. So what we're gonna do is, I'm gonna filter through these and put them in the order, or rough Pokedex order. They actually have their Pokedex numbers on them, which is fantastic. We'll flick to the pages and we'll go put them in. Some of these cards, I might already have a card in here, and it might just be an accident by me that I've doubled up, but 9 times out of 10, I probably liked the card that's here better than the ones in here if I forgot about it, right? So we're gonna go through, we'll filter through these, and then we'll start loading them in. All right, filtered in order. So we're gonna start here. We've got Machop, number 66. I don't even know if I have a Machop in here. I reckon I don't. Or maybe I do. 66. I don't have a Machop in here. So what I started doing originally was I started pulling, let me put it here, little energies just with like the number of the Pokemon in. But put the Machop in, fits in there perfectly. Oh, it's got the price on it still. Probably should have done that while I was speeding up. So what I'll try to do is I'll try to keep these as nice and protected as possible. Some of these cards are just like not sleeved because I didn't really like the card and I knew it wasn't going to be a long-term binder holder. So they're just like slid in there without a sleeve, which is really bad. Another one, Bellsprout, which is perfect. I knew it. I knew I didn't have a Bellsprout. What I actually do like, and what I'll really emphasize here as well, like this card might not be the most fantastic art on the planet, but like when we look at it from this perspective, like we're talking, these arts sort of connect. They're same artist. They look cool from the same set. So like I sort of like that. I want them to be from similar sets. And like, yes, don't get me wrong. Like this card's not worth hundreds of dollars, which I actually probably prefer a little bit. So I do like to utilize like commons and things like that where I can. Next up is Marowak, which is number 109, 105. Okay, so 105. We're moving into the bigger spots. So had a 151 Marowak in here, which is coming out, and we're putting in the Marowak from Heart Gold, one of the Heart Gold Soul Silver sets. Next up is Mareep, which is 179. We do have a Mareep in here, which is coming out. It is a Team Rockets Mareep, but these ones are way cooler. So these are going in to the binder. Boom, Mareep in, and Flaffy's coming out and going in there as well. So again, similar concepts to the Bellsprout, same artists. It's Mazakazu Fukada. So they're both coming out. And next up is Hoppip, which is 187, which is right here. I don't even have a spot. I don't even have one in there. So Hoppip goes in. Sunkern is after that. I do already have a Sunkern. It looks like it's a Sword and Shield era Sunkern that is coming out. So we're gonna pop that in there. It would have been cool if I found the Sunflora, but I didn't. Next up, Swinub, number 220. We'll flip that around. We'll see what we can find. 220, boom, nothing in that spot. Could have gotten the Piloswine as well, I should have. And then Carvana to wrap it up, close it out. Number 318, that is going to be a couple pages deep. I'd like to say 318. Oh my God, 318, where are we? I do have a Carvana in here, but this one is way cooler. So I'm happy with that. The current Carvana that was in that slot, again, a Sword and Shield. Or is it Sword and Shield? Yeah, Sword and Shield Carvana. So a couple cards out of the binder, a couple good cards into the binder. So it's Pokédex, all put in, all ready to rumble. On to the next bit. So now the next bit is actually to filter through this binder and pull out the cards that I do want in like my PC. Also pulling out some of the Prime cards and things like that. So there's a few cards in here that I really do want to pull out and put into my PC, which I think is going to be fantastic. And I'll show you the first three. I don't want to do this because I don't want this video to go for too long. So I'll probably speed through it. I'll try not to show too many of these because otherwise it'll just be a little bit of a draining video. But the first ones that are going to come out are the three starters. Being two from Stellar Crown and one is a promo from Obsidian Flames ETB. So they're the first three that are going to come out, and they will be going into a PC collection of mine, which I think, to be fair, probably don't really need to do, but they're probably the first ones that will come out. Like, I've got a Dark Blastoise in here, Erica's Venusaur, they're probably going to stay in here for majority of it. But then there isn't really too much else that really needs to come out from 151. I do know from 151, one of the things, or some of the things that do need to come out are gonna be the evolutions that I do have. So we've got them right here. We got the Vaporeon, Jolteon, and Flareon. Sword and Shield promos, which are wicked cards as well. I've got to like lean when I'm pulling these out. I don't know if you guys know these, you might not. There's three there. Move it over to here, boom, three cards, absolute slappers that we'll be going into. And I do already know what I'm gonna replace these with. The next three that will also come out. Ooh, I skipped on two. Ruby Sapphire EX cards. Boom. Magmar and Electabuzz coming out. They've also got to come out, but they've got to go into the PC, into the EX collection. These legendary birds have to come out straight into the PC. The legendary birds from, I always forget what series, I always forget what the set's called. Boom, boom, those three coming out in really good condition, those. This is also gonna come out, the Dragonite, we spoke about this in the last video, that's coming out into the PC as well, because I do love that card. I say it's going into the PC, you know what though? I wouldn't be opposed to moving it, which a lot of people might be like, oh, what are you gonna move that card for? And I'm like, oh, because it's a bit pricey and I don't really care for it too much. Three cards that will also come out. I remember when I picked these up, I thought I was an absolute baller. I didn't think I was a baller. Baller is probably the wrong word. It makes me seem a little bit stuck up because I think I'm not a baller anymore. But these three cards, when I bought them, it was like the first big purchase that I ever made. And it's the three legendary dogs from Crown Zenith, which also love them. They're going into the PC. Cool cards in here. Got a reverse stamp, Slackoth, got a more Wild V that's probably going to stay in here. Doesn't need to be moved. If you go back a couple videos, I have the Deoxys, Duskull, Dusclops reverse holos, which I absolutely adore. They're probably my favorite cards. These three will be going into the PC for sure. I don't know if I did a video. I don't think I did a video on these, or maybe I did. I can't remember. I picked up the Reggie Trios. I think they're from Emerald. I could be wrong again. We're about to find out, but, well, not really. Someone will probably tell me they're from Emerald. If they're from Emerald, tell me what set some of these cards are from, because off the top of my head, I don't really know too much. We flick through. I know I don't really have too many cards from the Black Bolt, White Flare. Never played Black Bolt and Black Bolt. Never played Black and White. Wasn't really my thing. I wasn't into Pokemon then. Sort of missed that generation, that era, which is a shame, but it is what it is. A couple other cool cards in here. Got a lot of GX cards from that Sun and Moon era. Ooh, got a cool Morpeko, but that's not good enough for the PC. Got a cool single strike Urshifu there. I love the Quaxwell, Quaxley, Quavel, or whatever they're called. You can sort of see them on this other camera. The three, lots of those. Varoom, Revaroom. These ones are pretty cool. The Frigibax, Arctibax, Baxcalibur. They'll stay in here, but they're not like PC, right? I'm not gonna sit there and look at them every single day. I'm not that like loving of them, essentially. I don't really care for them too much, but you know, they're still good cards, and I feel like, you know, they're sort of cards. Ooh, these ones are good. I don't know if you can see them on that camera, or you can see them on this camera. It's the XY, Pikachu, Venusaur, Blastoise, Charizards, the promos, they'll probably stay in here. We've got a couple primes that need to come out. So if you didn't know this, now you know. Celebi is one of also my favorite Pokemon. Obviously you can tell I'm a Gen 2 guy. So we've got a couple there that will be going into the PC, a couple primes, which is really, really cool. But that's it. They're the cards that will be coming out of this Pokédex binder, straight into the PC. Top load them up and put them in that binder. I won't film me top loading them. That'll probably take way too long, but we'll get it done. Okay, so I've just found out that there is like 150 something Pokemon in those EX generations. So I was gonna put them in order, but I don't think I'm gonna do that because that is gonna be way too difficult. But these ones on the other hand, can most definitely do in order since I've only got 4 of them. Technically, I have 6 because I do have the Meganium ones, which I'm not gonna double up on. They go in the Meganium master set. But if we go through this binder, I did have it up on my phone somewhere a second ago. I can put them in order. So they're gonna be towards the back. So that's 9, 18, 27. There's 31 of them. And we'll start from the top essentially. So Ampharos don't have, Blissey don't have, Donphan don't have, Feraligatr don't have, Meganium, Typhlosion. So we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11 don't have, 12 don't have, 13 don't have, but 14 I do have. Number 14 is Steelix. So Steelix will go in number 14. I've already just lost track of it. 14, here it is. So we'll slide that in up here. If I can fit it in. They don't fit in and slide in as nice as normal cards into them. That's number 1 in there. So we got Steelix at 14. Tyranitar, Ursaring, Espeon. There was an Umbreon at the show. It was just overpriced as hell at one of the places. Houndoom, Raichu, Scizor, Slowking, Umbreon, Absol, Celebi. Celebi can go in. Boom. Celebi, Electrode, Gengar. This is the one I've been keeping a little bit of a, I guess, a secret. Boom. We do have the Gengar Prime, which is probably one of the bigger cards out of all the primes. I almost picked up a Mew today as well, but I didn't because I just thought, you know what? I don't need to buy 2 $200 cards today. So I thought that can hold off. It's gone for about, the people had it for about $260. It's worth about $220. It's not worth that much, but this is in. So we had Celebi, where were we? Celebi, Electrode, Gengar. So Gengar can go here. Boom, straight in. Machamp, Magnezone, which is perfect. Magnezone, Mew, Yanmega, Dragapult. Done. That is done. So, love that. They're in there. The primes are in there. That list is good to go. I might print out proxies for it actually. Who knows? Maybe I will, maybe I won't. We'll see. I think for that, it's definitely worth it for when I go to a show or just have a checklist somewhere. Next, we are going to put in the... It's going to be hard. I don't know if I should film this one because I feel like with this, it's probably going to be a little bit more of a challenge to do, but maybe not. Maybe not. Maybe I'll turn off the camera for this one and I'll just show you when I'm done. Okay, so here we go. We'll spin it around. We'll go down. I suck with this camera. So we're going to start off here with the starters, Bulbasaur, Squirtle. I'm trying to get it so there's not as much glare. Then we got the evolutions. I worked out what set this is from. It's Supreme Victors. Great cards, amazing. They're in really good condition as well. And then finish off, oh my God, Morphle with this thing. Boom, the dogs, the legendary dogs, the trio. What I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna filter through these, which is a little bit of a pain to do, to be honest. The EXs, I am gonna put them in. I just don't know where I'm gonna put them in. It's a hard call to make because there is so many of them. There are a few more cards that I would like to collect in a set like this. So I'm looking to collect Stormfront, Charmander, Charmeleon, Charizard that'll go into this PC as well. There's a few other cards too that I really want to collect into this binder, because this again is the PC binder. Now this card here, I questioned putting it in or not, and I don't think I am, and I actually think I'm gonna move it. So I'm probably gonna move it for something a little bit bigger that I want. There was a Stormfront Charizard at the show today for $500, but like I just didn't want to do that. Now I'm sort of regretting not taking this because I reckon I could have gone boop, straight swap for it. But what I'm gonna do is I'll probably do these on the side without recording and pop them in, just because I got to work out how I want to do them, and I don't want to sit here for 20 million years trying to work it out on how to do it. But that is pretty much it for this video. That is oh my God, where is this thing going? That is pretty much a wrap. Hopefully that's a shorter, sharper one, but we're pretty much done. We're ready to rumble. Hope you enjoyed this episode. Catch you on the next one.